AT. Well, on the Masters of Spin this morning, the ACCC has begun a sweep across all social media platforms to find influencers who are releasing misleading testimonials and endorsements.
This will be a big job. The Consumer Watchdog says it's received more than 100 tip-offs from the public about influencers who need to be reminded of advertising disclosure requirements. It comes as the Tax Office vows to crack down on glam influencers and their gifts that they get as payment. To discuss, let's bring in our Masters of Spin, Matt Bywater and Meg Coffey. Morning, guys. Matt, this feels like it's been a long time coming and will be difficult to police. Is it overdue?
Oh, well overdue. And the great thing is, I think this initially is almost like a warning shot for most people. I don't know if we can see a lot of convictions per se. But what we will see is we're already seeing lawyers starting to talk to the companies that actually endorse these influencers. And we're talking to influencers, everyone's starting to think now, am I doing the right thing? Also, too, the other part of that is making the consumers aware that there is responsibilities on the influencers and the companies sponsoring these influencers to declare these are ads.
I don't think that people don't like it if they're not told the truth. I think that they're still going to follow influencers. Just tell us the truth. But what do you think, Meg? How damaging could this be for businesses, marketers and brands who like to advertise with social influencers?
Oh, it's huge. Now, I know it seems a little un-Australian to dob in an influencer, but that's exactly what the ACCC wants us to do. And from that one post on Facebook, they've gotten 100 at least. I think, look, the industry in itself, the influencer marketing industry, definitely needs some regulation. I think from a brand point of view, I'd be happy if there were rules and regulations because I know what I'm doing is going to be perceived by the customer in the right way. It's exactly as you said. We don't like being lied to. We don't like being misled. And I think when influencers are out there spruiking their message and not being transparent about why exactly they're giving you that message, it breeds a problem. So I am all for this crackdown and new regulations that are coming.
You're perilously close to becoming an influencer, Mon. You've recently made a foray into social media. You're influencing the nation's
I'm not
dance
on social
moves.
media.
But do you think if you could monetise it that way and try and make it a thing?
Well, I think that the important thing is just saying what... I don't think there's any problems with people monetising what they're doing, but
being transparent.
Just be upfront about it.
That's how these people make a living. So this is how I make a buck. And you be upfront and people appreciate that.
Do you think that this is going to see more companies turn back to more traditional forms of advertising, or do you think that influencers is just here to stay?
Influencers are here to stay, and one of the benefits is that they are lower cost than traditional advertising. The other thing is it's more about segmenting markets. So the influence, you pick an influence depending on what market you want to attract, and you can micro-advertise to that market.
Is it easier to track too, Maddie, in terms of this created that many clicks or this resulted in that many purchases?
Well, particularly when they give off specials codes, they can track it immediately. They spent $100,000 on an influence, or $5,000, or free tickets, whatever it may be, and they give them a code and they can track it directly.
Yep, there's a lot more to play out on this one. Let's move on now. And tennis bad boy Nick Krygios, of all people, has surprisingly become the voice of reason in the world of tennis. He says that the sport, as well as the Australian Open, needs to evolve and embrace different personalities. Meg, what do you think? Does the sport of tennis need an image refresh?
Oh, I love tennis. You can't say anything bad about tennis in my book, especially this week. But no, I do get where Krygios is coming from. And we have, or the tennis industry, the world has focused on the top three for so long. It's been the Rafa, Novak, Roger game. And can you blame us? They are incredible athletes. And, that's just the men's side. We've got women as well. But I think we maybe have focused too much on Serena and the top three and some of those other ones. And we've forgotten. And what Nick says is that we haven't rewarded personality. And I think that that's possible. I mean, like or hate Nick, he gets headlines and he gets people to watch the sport, and he's actually kind of good at it, which makes the sport even better.
What do you think, Matt? I mean, it falls off a cliff after that top tier, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. And it's personalities that bring people. It's the same in golf with Tiger Woods. I mean, Greg Norman, we had in Australia, Greg Norman falls off, golf drops off. Tiger Woods hits up, golf hits up. Tennis, I mean, you go back to McEnroe, we back to even sort of Pat Cash and Leighton Hewitt. They all had this great personality. You actually want to draw them in. We had that with Ash Barty. Yeah, Ash was it's not only a sensational tennis player, but such a great person. You actually want to watch her play. Yeah. You actually feel you want to watch her perform.
You want to watch her perform and you want to see her win. Yeah. Once we know the personalities. All right, Meg Coffey, great to have your insights this morning. Matt, I feel like you're about to break into song. It's like a karaoke
BYO microphone today. He's more regal.
Yeah, we lost his lapel mic.
How do you want your ratings to go? I mean,
we're in your hands, Maddie. Thank you.
The same way we like you. We want to see you perform. Thank you. Well, ahead.